Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's astrologer Eric Rosen coming to you from Barstow, California. I'm on my way to Los Angeles. Been quite the journey. I originally thought I was leaving the Midwest around St. Louis, Missouri to relocate to Dallas, Texas. And as with all pursuits in my life, they're very spiritually led. Trying to get the sun out of the background. Love you, son, but you're glaring. Yeah, just kind of a spiritually directed, even mandated in a way, the way I live my life, of really just not wanting to back down from some of the spiritual challenges that I'm given, especially to help people, help the collective ascend and just innovate the way that we live and bring more compassion and love back into our lives, and working on doing that in my own life as well. Went down to Dallas. Thought I was setting up shop there with my beautiful twin flame, Allison Strini, and my son, Eric Lucas. He goes by Luke. And our dog, Martha May. She's a chocolate pit bull, and she's a sweetheart. And we had some friends down there. We thought we were going to kind of maybe team up, work with them. We get down there, really just uncertain, very stressful times, to be honest, because we really didn't have a plan. We just kind of grabbed our stuff and went. Honestly, we probably didn't even need to bring half of our stuff, but we just knew that we had to get out of the Midwest. Alice and I had to get out of our conditioning that was keeping our minds kind of locked into a low vibrational self-worth place, even as spiritually as woke as we are. And we really didn't have a plan. We just knew which trusted spirit. And we were going to go stay on this farm and, work on this farm for a little bit in exchange for like staying there and getting some food and stuff. And to be honest, the guy was kind of a creepy banker. He was going to, when you do this deep spiritual work on yourself, when you really look within and you look at the shadow stuff, it's really easy to start to psychically, telepathically see what's going on with other people without them even telling you. And this guy was just kind of creepy. Like, you could tell that women would come work on this farm prior to us, and he would kind of have like sexual thoughts about him and stuff. I'm not about to have that with my family. Like, fuck no. Like, I want to talk about light my heart on fire. Like, boundaries, protection from my family. So long story short, like after we realized that we weren't supposed to go to this farm, we couldn't wait to get out of Texas. I felt so much better. We crossed the border to New Mexico. Thought we were going to go up through Colorado Springs and Denver and all that. We knew we wanted to head to Mount Shasta, California. Like, we knew that our souls were calling us west. We ended up not being able to go to Colorado Springs. Went through Taos, New Mexico, a very awesome place, and went through a few other places like Durango, Colorado. Like, we're around some like homeless people camping, which is a really interesting experience. And we got to the point where we just started trusting the next place to go to, even if it didn't make sense, like a perfect point A to point B path to Mount Shasta, or a just like a just a perfect plan. So we ended up stopping at some very amazing places in Utah. We got to stay at basically a mansion on fucking in Zion National Park, right outside of it in Utah. Then we shot up to Twin Falls in Idaho. We're kind of randomly, just to kind of get into the retreat wilderness for a little bit. And it was there that we got the download that we did need to come to LA, which Allison originally wanted to avoid just because of the weird vibrations going on in that state, and that people are just kind of acting a little weird. But with the type of work that we do, essentially what we're doing is, when we travel to new environments, we're activating, I guess, what you could call light grids. We're sort of like planting and weaving new possibilities, I think, for people to awaken to their senses, to see that there is higher innovative ways to live, to rise beyond just the paradigms of the precedents of government and religion and our conditioning and things like that. And to be honest, like, we'll never get credit from these people, probably personally, from these things. However, we know that we're doing some really awesome work when we do this, and so we're headed into LA to kind of shake things up a little bit. But the reason that this mission in particular is important is because something that's very near and dear to my heart, Allison's heart, and maybe even my son's heart too, as young as he is at 11, just from past life activations, reviews of that, and just what's come through is really just fighting on especially a spiritual battlefield, the pedophilia ring. And that's something that's really prevalent in Southern California. To be honest, like getting to Barstow and staying at a hotel here, I saw some of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had to see in my third eye vision, just where I telepathically see things that have happened. And basically what I'm doing with these things is I'm just using compassion, non-judgment. Sometimes it's even just stepping into my power and saying, no, this isn't right, and just having a sense of strength and courage, and pouring my passion into saying, like, I'm not going to let this stand. And so for the people out there that saw, this news about this pedophilia stuff being a big deal when COVID hit, and then it kind of just like went away. People were writing to their congressmen, their senators, nothing was happening, and I think people were really irate because they're like, this is the worst atrocity that really we know of. It's all the sex trafficking, the human sex trafficking and stuff with children. And it's just one of those things where I think people maybe are especially angry because they don't know what to do about it. And one thing I want to say is, like, it starts with really just a simple intention and a prayer to whoever you pray to and saying, like, I want to help. Where's my role in this? Some people, it's more on the physical level. It might be like, a government agency. Like, to be honest, I don't have big opinions on the FBI. I think, that institution's corrupt and they're going down. At some point, I actually got a channel download that was going to happen at some point, just because of the exploitation of our privacies and our sovereignty. But, there might be, agencies of some type of police agency that goes around looking for that stuff. I'm pretty sure there is. There might be people that, like Allison and I, it's like we're fighting it on a spiritual front, but we also desire to manifest on a physical level rehabilitation, for these children, like once they're freed, like getting them out of these, and this isn't a metaphor, like cages, like getting them rescued. And the spiritual mission is like, taking them from complete rehabilitation of where they're at and just taking them back to a journey of love and forgiveness, as hard as that may be. I can't, to me, there's something really special about that alchemical process of turning lead into gold, of fear into love, when you could take someone from the farthest edges of fear and bring them all the way back to love. That's pretty special. To me, that's really special. So we're essentially headed to LA to continue really to follow that spiritual calling, to just see like what's out there. Obviously, we're going to get to enjoy ourselves. We'll get to see the beach. Allison and I need to get a new wardrobe. We're being asked to do that. And Luke too. And maybe even, well, Martha doesn't need clothes. She's a dog, and it's hot. It's going to be 115 today in Barstow. Thank God it's cooler in LA. What's that? New toys. Yes. And so, to be honest, like once we leave LA, I got the download to head to San Francisco for a day. There's a lot of, I'm going to put this in this way, it's almost like embedded in the concrete in San Francisco of like the hate against the LGBTQ community, and going and like transmuting some of that with love and compassion, and just, really, it's like, so I've been trying to tell people, it's like we're not doing anything specifically. It doesn't even look physical a lot of times. Sure, we're going to talk to people about this mission more and like what we're doing and what we're passionate about, and see how we can create this more of a physical place. But everything starts on a spiritual level. It starts on that cosmic spiritual manifestation intention level before things become physical in reality. And so, we'll just listen to spirit and see. But it's really just transmuting that fear and that hate against things like the gay community that have been in San Francisco for a long time, back to love. And it may not even be specifically in that community. It could even just be people's thought projections all over the world about what they believe about San Francisco and that. And I believe after that, it's about a 4-hour drive. We're driving. The car's not quite big enough. We've had to unload some stuff. But I mean, this is missionary work. This is kind of what Jesus and Mary Magdalene did. And we'll probably head to Mount Shasta after that, 4 hours. And to be honest, I really don't know what's next after that. But what I do know is, as stressful as this trip has been and trying to figure things out, like mentally, turning it over to God and just trusting and coming at it from more of a feminine manifestation process of the openness of, we are worthy of receiving regardless of, what our income is or what's on a resume or how we left our careers at some point, like our corporate careers and all this stuff, that we're worthy and we're valuable, which is a feminine quality of just being able to receive help from people and from Spirit to be able to carry out this awesome work. And to me, that's my true belief is, I believe that's how it actually used to be. There was a sense of sacredness of a value exchange of like when you just did your spiritual work, under God or the creator of the universe, whatever you worship, whoever you, look up to, you would receive tenfold basically for doing that work, because the universe is always trying to correct itself, and not in like a Thanos, like kill half the world kind of way. Like balance is in harmony, is in love, is in people getting along. And it's my true realization. This actually came from the Egyptian goddess Isis, as I do work with other, godlike deities and beings, that we really just have a choice at this point to really accept our freedom and really just relax and create from that place. And it's a very feminine energy. Or we can keep feeling and believing the mistruth that we're not free and we have to struggle to get free, that it's a struggle and that we have to fight and conquer and prod and just plan and plot and do all these things and scheme and manipulate and, try to figure out money. When in reality, it's like when you just really settle into the passion of the heart, which is truly possible when you relax and just see that it's like really the only war that was ever true was just the one inside. That's why it's externally looks like a lot of warring going on in the world, because everybody's in such inner turmoil, so it's reflective of what's going on inside. That when you let that go, you become serene, you become more peaceful. And it's not easy in these times, especially, someone like me that feels collectively the turmoil that's going on with people. But one thing I can guarantee you is that if you just keep saying yes to change and transformation, you keep going, you keep saying yes to your passion, you're going to be okay. Keep listening to God. If you listen to the government, or if you try to go back to old ways, like, you'll be okay, but like, I think this is the final thing. It's like, do you want to like realize like your dreams and your passions, or do you just want to have the dream, and just wish for it to get better? Because the truth is, and this is very, Neptune Pisces, it's like the victims just want to dream and say, well, I can't have my dream because of this and this and this. And the people that take responsibility for their spiritual power and activate that within them, their passion, and really just pray deeply for that and just course correct every day and get back to that essence, that alignment of what you're here to do and with God, that's when this stuff becomes realized. We can become a little bit impatient, may not look the way that we want it to, but just keep going. Things are slowing down a little bit right now for us to tune in a little bit deeper and find that serenity. And maybe sometimes for people like me as a Capricorn, things don't move as fast as I want them to, but I feel it. I know that things are going to work out, and it's not in a like I'm just gonna like not change kind of way. It's in a just keep saying yes to God, keep saying yes to Spirit kind of way. So I love you all. Hope you enjoyed this, and just stay classy with your interactions with people. Try not to do any warring with people. I think that's there's a lot of really awesome progress that can happen if we just at least learn to stop being combative with each other and just see how we're mirroring our own fears and phobias back to each other and just have love and compassion for them. Like, that's a surefire way to always keep the momentum going, always keep the fire lit. It's your social interactions with people. Relationships are so important. All right, you guys take care. I love y'all.